Hey everybody, Shane here, dailyastrocat.com, and today is the 2nd of March, right? So we've got Monday, and our moon in Leo is going to be void, of course, at 7:27 astrology time, right? So let's see. First of all, your friend here, right? Yes, 7:27 in the morning. It is going to enter Virgo at 7:34. I think that's really significant, and it's going to be really helpful to us today for a couple of reasons. First of all, Mars is in the Anaretic degree right in the morning, right? Anaretic degree of Aquarius. It's a critical point that represents the final. It takes some of the worst and some of the culmination of what that sign was, and it just kind of concentrates it into just that one little degree. And we're talking about there's a final urgent and chaotic culmination of like those themes, and it's like innovation and rebellion and social change. Now, it also can accentuate a contrary sort of aloofness, a conceit, and a hands-off approach that can border on, let's call it laziness, for the lack of a better word. All right, worst traits. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm not saying that everybody does that or anything like that. And all signs have some less desirable traits that they can fall into. With that being said, let's think about this. The moon also opposes this today, okay? And it's going to neutralize some of this for the most part. The moon is opposing Mars, just as she gets ready to move into Virgo. So that's kind of interesting too. So that opposition in that case, the moon takes that intuition that we have and just it's like we can start to feel around some of this stuff and see what's good, what's bad, and what is what. And that's leading us down a very different rabbit hole because think about it. It seems like most of the crap that we've been seeing on our social media feeds, if you're not listening to dailyastrocat.com, I'm sure you're going to be seeing some nonsense about say like the Middle East, a lot of AI, a lot of manipulation, a lot of bots and everything like that, right? And it's really, really curious to see, and it's not curious in a good way. It's like AI is actually generating propaganda. It's making propaganda. People are using it to make propaganda, but it could even be generating its own, right? Now think about it. What if it's used for more than propaganda? What if it's actually calling the shots in some cases? That's freaking frightening, okay? Quite honestly, that is frightening. And, honestly, is it too late to pull the plug on that crap? We can use it to better our lives, and we have to use it because that's where competition is taking us, right? That's where we have to gain more of an advantage to it, and we have to be able to see it. But we also have to be able to see when it's not used right. We have to be able to tell. And this moon in Virgo is helping us to do that. We can do that intuitively. Now, why does that work that way? Because Virgo is opposite Pisces, and Pisces is very intuitive. Virgo is very logical. You put the two of them together, and it doesn't seem like a very good match, but you can go down some pretty strange rabbit holes with that, right? You can actually use that to be able to see where you're going with the points that you're making. Kind of like a Mercury and Pisces guy, right? This one right here. So, at any rate, Mars leaves this area at 9:16. So Mars actually enters Pisces today at 9:16. So we have just a little bit of this contusions by confusion. And at some point, we're going to have a moral duty to speak up because that's what happens when Mars enters Pisces. Pisces is a very passive sign, but it's also that truth that's inside of us, right? It's that truth that's out there. We are at a real inflection point with this right now because this is going to be really, really interesting because Mars as the ruler of Aries is going to take this feeling, this feeling that we have inside, the spiritual feeling, the somewhat, we're looking for the intuition. We're acting on our intuition in a way. And what it's going to do is it's going to take that and it's going to impart some of that intuition right into where Neptune and Saturn are, because Mars influences that by being in Pisces. So now the art becomes more empathetic, more expressive, expressing the values, universal values, peace, love, all of that stuff. I think it's going to bode very well for us as a group, as our group, as people who are fending for ourselves, trying to create, trying to do the things that we need to do to thrive in this culture. Despite the noise from the outside, despite the distractions. So, think about it. As artists, our job is to dig for the truth. And as an astrologer, my job is to help you to strike a balance between that what will serve you and your creative flow. So the moon, as she neutralizes most of this, as she enters Virgo, really helps us to focus ahead. And to tell you quite honestly, it's given me a profound sense of calm, even with all of this stuff going on. And today's keyword is illusion. So what is the illusion? The illusion is what the AI is trying to get us to believe, what the bots are trying to get us to believe, what propaganda is trying to force upon us. Could very well be. It's certainly not. It's up to us to be able to see through all that stuff, right? We have to see through the illusion. We don't want to get tied up in it. We don't want to let it get to us. But we do have to have a vision. And that vision is what's going to help us go forward. And if that comes from an illusion, that's fine. So now the color is willow branches in the warm winter sunlight. Empaths, look, you're having a difficult time with this, right? It does. Anytime there's violence, loss of life, and stuff like that, it gets very, very difficult. It isn't so much the pain, but it's the number of choices and just how invalidating our sources of information have become. Perhaps that's a new mission for somebody, right? A new passion, a new drive. This is a spiritually very busy time, and the moon in Virgo is here to do the work in conjunction with the sun in Pisces. Mars, in the gentle sign of Pisces, could begin to work in our favor almost immediately, indirectly, intuitively. That kind of action, right? Indirect, intuitive action is sure to be making inroads today. So you're going to be starting to act on some of your impulses and everything, and that's not going to be a bad thing, as long as you're not doing it because you're fed up, frustrated, or emotionally taxed. It has to be purposeful, it has to be driven, it has to be creative, it has to be innovative, but it also has to speak to our ability to take our rage or our indignation or whatever you want to call it out of it and approach it from a very objective standpoint. That moon in Virgo will strengthen that and will make that easier for you. Now, emotionally, we have been preparing to feel liberated from this whole series of current events. Yeah, we need to. Our energy must come from within, not from without, and we will express it creatively and calmly. You all have the skills you need to emerge on the proper path. The evidence is plain to see, so let's not miss this chance to do better. And now we get ready for the lunar eclipse. That's coming on early in the morning, right? Get to bed early because stuff's going to start heating up. The moon begins showing signs of the eclipse at 3:44 in the morning on Tuesday here on the East Coast. Oh boy, there was a little gasp. The eclipse is full here on the East Coast after 6 in the morning, so I can't wait to see what this is going to look like because I just can't imagine it, that red moon. I don't know what it's going to look like in the daylight, so that's going to be kind of interesting to see. So get to bed early if you want to witness this phenomena early, okay? That's what I'm saying. So and it's even going to go late, like on the West Coast and stuff like, we just need to see this. We need to see this. This is going to be cool. All right. So in 1917, the Jones Act. What is the Jones Act? Puerto Rico territory is created and U.S. citizenship is granted. And our birth is in 1824. It is Bedřich Smetana. He died in 1884. He's a Czech composer. He did The Bartered Bride, Ma Vlast, and Along the Banks of the River Moldau. Classic staples in modern-day repertory, even to this date. He's born in Litmacy, and the Kingdom of Bohemia. And I probably butchered that because not very good at that Slavic stuff, right? Anyway, that's what I got for you. So let's recap, shall we? Our keyword is illusion, and the color is the warm winter sunlight. Oh, yes, willow branches in the warm winter sunlight. You can see them from miles away. And that's all I have for you. I appreciate and love every single one of you. I love you all. Thank you so much. Keep those comments coming. Keep the shares coming. I like the shares. I like the saves. I like to see people just come back and just constantly revisit these things. Newsletters going out very soon. I just took a look at the new email list. Website's doing fantastic. HTTPS. I'll put it in the comments. And that's all I have for you. Happy astrocatting.